Yo, what is up YouTube? James Baek here and welcome back to another episode of VGC 2018 Baek Battles. Today we are featuring a brand new team and this team has some cool tricks up its sleeve. We are trying out Mega Camerupt today with Mega Camerupt, Gothitelle, Amoonguss, Scrafty, Tapu Koko, and Mimikyu. This is a team that I tried on ladder. This was actually going to be the first team that I was going to use on the series. However, I made an Empoleon team. I made the Empoleon team after this team, and I was like, wow, Empoleon's actually really good. So I decided to use Empoleon for the first team. I was going to use this team originally for the first few episodes just because it didn't require a Mega, and Tapu Koko is the only legend on this team, and it was like I already had Tapu Kokos from regular Sun and Moon, so I wouldn't have had to catch the legendaries, but I just wanted Empoleon so much that I just decided, hey, why not? So we're going to be trying out this team. It's got some cool tricks up its sleeve, and let's get started for some battles. I am really excited because I liked this Mega Camerupt team when I played. I really liked it quite a bit. If you don't know my history of Mega Camerupt, I actually used Mega Camerupt back in 2015 and almost reached the 2000s on the Battle Spot ladder with Mega Camerupt. It was a Mega Camerupt Gothitelle team actually, which was really, really cool. So we got Victor for our first opponent today, and unfortunately bring Rain, which is not a good matchup at all. Actually, this looks like Perish Trap. So we got the Gengar, Gothitelle, Persian, Muck, Hitmontop, and the Politoed. So this is really interesting. This is really interesting. So we're going to see Perish Trap. Perish Trap, people. And I don't know how good it is against me, actually, because I have Mimikyu, I have Tapu Koko. I got a few things that actually stop it. So yeah, this is going to be really interesting to see how this works. Unfortunately, I don't know what I want to bring exactly, to be completely honest. I think I want to go Tapu Koko and Mimikyu since it seems like my best answer against Perish Song. Because of the fact it can threaten the Gengar right away, I think I want to go Gothitelle in the back and have Camerupt. Like, this is going to be a really weird one. Like, it's weird for the Perish Trap mode to face against this team because I have a Ghost type. I have the ability to Volt Switch. Gothitelle can trap their Pokemon. So, yeah, this is a really weird matchup. I'm not sure if you're going to rely on the Perish Trap mode, to be honest. I think you would go like an offensive mode if you do have one. And my opponent really doesn't have much offensive pressure. More like support. And most Gengars on Perish Trap don't really run a Sludge Bomb. They run Shadow Ball, Perish Song, Protect, and then usually it's a filler move like Substitute or Disable to help stall out the Perish Song. So this is going to be really interesting to see how this plays out. I haven't played Perish Song in forever, so I might be a bit rusty, but I used to play a lot against this. So let's see, Persian plus the Gengar coming out as we do lead our Tapu Koko Mimikyu right here. I don't want to really risk Sludge Bomb, and I don't really have a reason to. It's interesting to also note that there's no redirection on this Perish Song team. I think what I just want to do is protect. I don't think this Persian would really carry Fake Out or Faint. And I will just go for a Shadow Claw into the Gengar. Because I don't want to risk going for my Z move into Protect or Switch Out. I could definitely see that. I could see Parting Shot coming out from the Persian. I could see Fake Out into Tapu Koko. I could see, just Foul Play to break my Disguise, potentially. There's so many different plays. However, yeah, I'm kind of surprised my opponent brought this kind of mode to Perish with him. I wonder if that's a fast Gengar. I mean, it should be fast. Usually on Perish Trap teams, you run a very fast Gengar, or at least faster to outspeed a lot of the threats with Disable, so you can get a Substitute or Disable up before they can attack. So I'm pretty sure. Okay, so we're going to see the Protect from the Gengar. I guess that means we're going to see an attack into Mimikyu. So I could have got a Dazzling Gleam off, which is, a bit unfortunate for me, as we're going to see the Foul Play into the Mimikyu. Yep. So, really comes down to the next turn because I'm not exactly sure how this is going to work. I do want to go for Electrium Z because my opponent doesn't have a way to change terrain, so I will most likely be able to get a KO here. So I'll go for the Electrium into my opponent's Gengar. It doesn't really have a good switch in, other than maybe Muck, but Muck would also be taking a lot of damage. And I'll go for a Shadow Claw. I want to go into the Persian because of the fact that Gengar could switch out and Parting Shot could come out. But also the fact is, if I lose a speed tie with my Tapu Koko and a Gengar does carry Sludge Bomb, let's say, I'm in a really bad position. So Hmm. Usually Parasong Gengars don't really run max speed, so I'm actually going to target on the Persian. I'm just remembering like Wolf Glick's Mega Gengar, which wasn't max speed if I remember correctly. It actually had a little less than max speed while incorporating more into bulk. So Persian's actually going to switch out, which is interesting here. Gothitelle is coming in. So let's see if it's a Sludge Bomb here. It's a Shadow Ball. Okay, that's acceptable. So I am able to... Let's see if Mimikyu survives this one. Nope. Maybe Destiny Bomb was the better play turn 1. I think that might have been the better play. But we're going to trade Mimikyu for Mega Gengar. And honestly, that is a high good chance for me. That's a really good... That's a really good trade for me. That's a really good trade is what I'm trying to say. Because of the fact, getting rid of this Mega Gengar, Shadow Ball is probably the most offensive move my opponent can really do at this point. So I'll get rid of this Mega Gengar happily. As I'll be able to Gigavolt Havoc my opponent's Gengar. And I will be able to pick up the knockout. And now that's one less a Shadow Attack user I have to deal with. But, you know, my team wasn't really that worried in the first place. I'm going to go into Gothitelle here. As I'm pretty sure my opponent's going to bring out the Mimikyu. Or, well, I mean last Pokemon. Why did I say Mimikyu? It was going to be the last Pokemon. Yeah, Politoed's going to be my opponent's last Pokemon. So Gothitelle is going to come out. Don't know if my opponent has the Trick Room. That would be really interesting if my opponent had the Trick Room. So, you kind of want to assume... I kind of just want to... Okay. I'm going to Volt Switch right here into the Politoed. This is going to be a bit of a weird play. So, the two plays I see is Politoed either protecting or it going for a Scald into Tapu Koko, thinking it can live the electric type move. I feel like you would protect Trick Room here, yet my opponent could also decide not to do that. So I actually think the best place is switch out my Gothitelle and go into Camerupt, because this covers the Trick Room play, as you'll soon see with my surprise, and this also covers if he stays in, so I can Volt Switch. So Politoed's going to protect here, which is fine. Absolutely fine. And let's see what the Gothitelle goes for. Is it going to be... Yep, Trick Room. Perfect. So it really comes down to the item on Politoed. If it's Walking Berry, that's like the worst case scenario. But if it isn't, I'm in a very good situation here. Because I can Thunderbolt and Nature's Power right here. And Nature's Power is boosted by Mega Camerupt's ability, which is Sheer Force. Because Nature's Power turns into Thunderbolt. The Thunderbolt will be boosted because it gets rid of the Paralysis chance and boosts up the power by 33%. Plus the Electric Terrain. So very clutch tech move right here for this Politoed. And I'm hoping I can get it off. And also, I should underspeed the Politoed with the new Mega Evolution mechanics. So, unless there's something really crazy from my opponent, like Focus Sash or Walking Berry, which is more common, or Ally Switch, what? That's a new one. Okay, my opponent also had Attack, apparently, and that doesn't work out for me. Oh, but it's Parasong. No Skulls. Huh. I'll take that. Honestly, take that. Thunderbolt into the Gothitelle. Actually does pick up the knockout with after Nature's Power. Wow. And that means I can switch. Not bad. Yo, I did not expect that. I was like, no, it's going to be able to live the double combination, get its berry back most likely, and then be able to protect. But luckily, we were able actually to pick up the knockout. So Mega Camerupt combined with Tapu Koko, putting in some work there. Now I have a very free play of just protecting with my Mega Camerupt and switching out into Gothitelle right here. Pretty sure this game's over. Pretty much, I do expect my opponent to just forfeit because I don't believe that the Persian will be able to win at this rate, especially since I can Nature's Power to Politoed the following turn. Maybe a Feint Scald will come out to gain my opponent some momentum, but that would be if my opponent has Feint, and I kind of expect maybe Taunt as its last move on Persian, maybe Quash. Politoed's going to protect here. So, no Fake Out? No, it is Fake Out in the Tapu Koko? Yep. Okay. And yes, I can get... Oh, I can't... Well, I could always just switch out into my Tapu Koko here and just go for another Nature's Power into the Politoed. Because let's face it, the Persian's really not doing anything to my Tapu Koko. It really doesn't have a move that can pick up the knockout. And yeah, the match is going to be forfeit knowing... I can just stall out, to be honest, the Trick Room slash Politoed's Perish song count, then Persians alone against Tapu Koko, and maybe like if I have an ally partner in Camerupt or Gothitelle in the back, and yeah, Persian cannot win against Tapu Koko in general, so my opponent's gonna forfeit there, but what a crazy game. But Nature's Power coming in through. Actually, Earth Power would have probably sealed up the game, to be honest. Well, actually, no. What it I feel like it's the same power actually because Thunderbolt, the electric terrain gives it stab, and Earth Power is, technically stab, sheer force. So yeah, it's basically like an Earth Power. Wow, it's really strong, and that's why I like Nature's Power. Nature's Power is such a cool move on Camerupt, especially the sheer force boosting the power. It's really interesting, a mechanic there. But we're able to take the first game nice. As let's go with a different song. Team Skull Admin, let's go. But nice, able to win the first game, and yeah, wasn't expecting my opponent to bring Perish Song, really wasn't, but yeah, just maybe my opponent didn't have even Scald on the Politoed, maybe it was like Encore, Perish Song, some kind of attack move, maybe it's like Rest or Icy Wind or some kind of support move, Protect, as we find a QR code team. It looks like, I didn't even know this was a thing. Ooh, this is an interesting team. Actually, wait, didn't I face this team like when I was laddering myself? No, I didn't face this team. I faced a Lucario Weavile. I didn't face like a Zapdos Landorus with it. Okay, so we got the Nihilego, Zapdos, Landorus variant, Tapu Fini, the Lucario, and Weavile. So the Mega Evolution looks like it will be Lucario for this team. This is actually a really cool team. It's really offensive too. But against my slower Trick Room team, it should be able to handle it just fine. My opponent doesn't exactly have the best ways to beat Trick Room. It looks like maybe not illegal carries Trick Room, but I do have Psyshock. Weavile is going to be a bit annoying, which is, yeah, that is definitely something that's going to be annoying. However, Amoonguss doesn't really seem that great here. I think I can honestly go Mimikyu too. Mimikyu can also do some work. I think I just want to lead Scrafty Gothitelle because it's very safe. Like, being able to trap my opponent in turn 1 seems amazing. With Camerupt and Tapu Koko in the back for that Nature's Power. Yes, I could probably bring Amoonguss. Rage Powder Redirection would be great here, but I feel like having Tapu Koko is great in the late game. By the way, if you haven't noticed in the last episode, I finally dressed up my character, and I'm very proud of it. I'm very proud of dressing up my character. Although I haven't done the hair, because I've honestly never touched a Pokemon hairstyles like ever. I've never touched them. So we're going to see the Weavile and the Tapu Fini, which is pretty much my opponent's best lead here. But that's fine because... Okay, you're most likely going to fake out what? Gothitelle? Or yeah, I would fake out Gothitelle and just Moonblast. I wonder if it specs on the Tapu Fini. I guess we'll find out. Yet I can just go out into my Tapu Koko. And do I want to take a knockoff right away? I kind of don't. Yeah, I'm just going to protect here. I want to find out what kind of Tapu Fini this is. I'm pretty sure you're just going to fake out the Gothitelle turn 1. Or maybe you reveal a taunt. I want to see what kind of Fini you are from turn 1. So I'll go for this play as I also get my electric terrain up, which is nice for my Camerupt later. And I'm just going to protect because I want to scout for like a potential taunt here. So it's going to be the fake out coming out into the Gothitelle slot and Moonblast, just Gleam. So that's definitely a offensive Fini. So yeah, that's pretty good for me because I'll be able to get a Gigavolt Havoc. That's definitely a Specs Fini from the damage. You cannot switch out, which is beautiful, and I can sack Koko for a Trick Room. Yep, this seems pretty good for me because I'll be able to get Trick Room up, knock out the Fini, which is a huge threat to both my Camerupt and Scrafty. So this is basically why I love Gothitelle. It prevents basically these annoying shenanigans that my opponent can switch out into to counter what I have on the field, and I can always switch into a better position. So Z-Ring gonna activate the Gigavolt Havoc on my Tapu Koko side, and we're gonna go for this very strong Gigavolt Havoc into Tapu Fini. I could have went for Helping Hand Thunderbolt too, which was also another play. I don't know. I'm pretty sure my opponent should target down the Tapu Koko, but maybe he just wants to target down Gothitelle because it's like, oh, if I allow my opponent to set up Trick Room and get a free switch in, it's really bad for me. So I'll target down the Gothitelle right here, but we'll see here. It is going to be knockoff, and that is in the Gothitelle, so going to get rid of my berry. That still does a lot, but then again, I'm like max specially defensive Gothitelle, and that's why it's the life orb on the Weavile. Very interesting here. So what is going to be coming out next from my opponent is the question. If it's not illegal, I have Psyshock, so I'm not really too worried. Psyshock might pick up the knockout. I'm not exactly too confident on that calc. However, anything else is coming in, I'll just pretty much obliterate it with my Gothitelle. Let's see what my opponent's next Pokemon is. Landers. I'll try to get the free switch into my... I could go into Scrafty, or I could go into Camerupt, to be honest. I wonder if this Weavile carries Feint too. That could also be a scary option here. But my opponent is taking the time. Lucario is actually going to be coming out, so I definitely want to get my... Camerupt if possible. So I'll Volt Switch Weavile. Weaviles don't usually carry Protect, and I'll just protect my Gothitelle because I want to get in my Camerupt and start going for Heat Wave. Like Heat Wave, as long as I don't miss, we'll be able to pick up KOs on anything on my opponent's side of the field. So we're going to see the Mega Lucario here in action. And let's see what my opponent does here. As I will protect Gothitelle and try to sack my Tapu Koko. Hopefully my opponent goes for it. I could see Flash Cannon coming out into the Tapu Koko, so it's either mixed or special, and I'm pretty sure it's special since most Lucario's physical might just run Meteor Mash nowadays. Ice Punch gonna go into the Gothitelle, expecting maybe a switch. Although I think knockoff is still a fine play because you get to knock off any item, but Camerupt is gonna come out here. And let's do some damage. I just hope no misses. That's like the only thing I'm really scared of, to be honest. Yeah, so I'll just Helping Hand Heat Wave here. Yeah, the only... of course, I am risking Heat Wave miss, so maybe Scrafty was a fine play. But I don't want to lose Gothitelle early. And 2, I can pick up a double knockout here potentially, which is great momentum. Also, if I brought in Scrafty, like Weavile might carry low kick, it could crit, which could be problematic. So no matter what, there's always like a chance that there's going to be an error here. So Helping Hand's going to come out. Lucario is going to protect. A Weavile, I don't think will carry Protect here. Maybe it does. Maybe it's its last move. It carries Feint, though. Okay. Going to target down my Camerupt's getting a little bit of chip. Okay. Okay, I see you. Heat Wave. Please connect. Nice. So we don't waste Trick Room turns. So Weavile is going to go down. And that is a huge offensive threat gone. And now I do get my Scrafty in the future to intimidate these two Pokemon, and they cannot switch out. So if it's Landorus, which it is Landorus, it looks like, I'll be able to get a Heat Wave off into the Landorus. So not looking bad here. I just want to Helping Hand Heat Wave, I think, even if it's AV Landorus or Focus Sash, which is probably the only thing that can survive it. I think it is a safe play no matter what. Because then, even if Lucario, let's say, gets a double protect, I can Drain Punch Lucario, and I should be able to 1v1 the Landers with my Scrafty. So, Helping Hand, Lucario going to go for the double. It does get it, which could be big, but let's see if Landers can live the Heat Wave. Are you Assault Vest, or do we connect, which is the important part? We do connect, which is great damage. This is amazing damage. Oh, it can live. Earth Power actually coming out into the Camerupt, being able to pick up the knockout. Wow. Okay, so Earth Power going to be revealed here, huh? Interesting. Yeah, that has to be Assault Vest Landers. I don't see it living Heat Wave otherwise. So Scrafty is going to be able to come out, get this Intimidate off into the Lucario as well as the Landers. And with the Assault Vest, I should be able to live one Aura Spear, so I'm not really worried about that. I could... yeah, just Drain Punch is fine. Drain Punch, Psyshock, the Landorus. Although I guess the problem is, does Overspear crit, which could definitely be a potential. Are you mixed with Close Combat, which might be able to knock out my Scrafty even through the Intimidate, because Mega Lucario's adaptability is actually ridiculous. I'm not sure if Lucario will be able to live a Drain Punch. This is like almost max attack Scrafty, so it should still be able to pick up the knockout onto Lucario, but who knows. So we'll see here. I'm pretty sure this Landers can't protect, though. But Lucario could get maybe a triple here. So, Landers carries protect. Oh, wait. That's a really bulky Landers, then. So that actually screws up my plans quite a bit. Gonna be able to get a Drain Punch off into the Lucario. Doesn't pick up the knockout. Oh no, that's bad. Oh, that is bad. Okay, so I have one option, I think, and that's Snarl Protect. The reason I want to go for Snarl Protect is because I could see Lucario protecting and Landorus going for an Earthquake here. Yeah. So I need two Pokemon to stay on the field. Uh, let's see here. He could also, it doesn't look like a Protect either, so maybe it's Earthquake, maybe it's Superpower. This is going to be really scary as the Aura Spear goes out into Scrafty. With the Assault Vest, we are able to take it, but can we live the follow-up? Going to be that Earth Power into the Gothitelle slot. Please hit Snarl on Landorus. Nice, and that should secure the game. And also hits the Lucario, which I guess now its only chance is to Rock Slide? If it does carry it, Earthquake. Don't think it knocks out Scrafty without a crit, so yep, my opponent can still win, yet I am still in a fine position. I'll just Drain Punch Psyshock here, as, yeah, I don't think my opponent can win. Yeah, the match is going to be forfeit, so very close one. I'm honestly shocked. That was a very bulky Landorus, but luckily didn't have the damage output. I think even if it targeted down my Scrafty, since it didn't have the choice specs, and by how much bulk it has to be invested into special attack to live a Helping Hand Sheer Force boosted Heat Wave, definitely takes a lot of investment. So yeah, actually I'm not even sure if it could KO Gothitelle, to be honest. It would need quite a bit of investment to KO the Gothitelle at that rate, but able to pull out a win. Very close one. Luckily, AV Scrafty coming in clutch here, and we're going to be going for our last battle of the day. So very nice. Maybe this team could get 3 wins as well on its first showcasing on VGC 2018 Back to Battles. And if you want to try out the team, it will be in the description down below for a paste spin on Showdown. It won't be available as a QR code, unfortunately, but yeah, I'm not going to make all teams QR codes because, you know, if the global link, or maybe it does, and maybe I just don't know about it, but I don't think it does, only allows 4 QR code teams from a trainer at a time. So if you want to make like a 5th code, you have to delete one of your current codes, and I don't want to do that for like future viewers, Back to Battles, to come in, watch the series later, wants to try out the team, and then it's not even there anymore because it was deleted already. So that's why I don't make the QR code teams for Back to Battles anymore, unfortunately. I really wish they would lift it, or if they have lifted, let me know in the comment section down below, but I'm pretty sure it's still 4 teams. However, we're going to find our last opponent today, Jason for the United States of New York, 1500. For our last opponent today, oh wow, cool team, Lycanroc. I was actually thinking of using Lycanroc on Back to Battles, the Sand Rush team from Doubles Battle Spot from original Sun and Moon that got like to 1900 or 2000 was actually a really cool team. We see the team of the Tyranitar, Lycanroc, Salamence, Celesteela, Azumarill, and the Merax. So this is really scary. Really scary. Not much to say other than really scary. Gothitelle is really good for trapping, which is solid here. I'm not exactly sure how this is going to work out. So I'm going to lead Scrafty Gothitelle, which is really weak to the Azumarill lead. I don't think I want Nature's Power in this matchup. It could help, technically, because it could hit the Azumarill, yet I think I'll need a Mungus for Spore and Redirection because of Azumarill's threat to Aqua Jet or set up a Belly Drum. So I want a Mungus over Tapu Koko, and that could be a mistake too, because, you know, Celesteela, Salamence, they're all Pokemon that don't really appreciate the Tapu Koko. Of course, my opponent has to be wary. Another lead I guess I could have led, which I think might have actually been more solid, was Scrafty Tapu Koko, because my opponent doesn't exactly have the best answer to Tapu Koko. But of course, you know, that Mara could always come in on the switch if I don't lead this trap mode. So I will just, you know, try to trap my opponent in with the current Pokemon he has and try to gain myself into, or get myself into a better board position. So let's see what my opponent's going to lead here. Scrafty Gothitelle will be our lead here. Against, what is my opponent going to lead? The Lycanroc Tyranitar. Beautiful. That could not have worked out better. Although this is still, like, you know, not the best situation. The reason why it's not the best situation, Crunch from Tyranitar Lycanroc does have access to Taunt. I'm not sure in VGC. The one that I've seen are banded. Trick Room's safe here. Fake Out's very safe. I'm going to scout for a Taunt. Because even if I can't, like, it doesn't matter. Like, these Pokemon are locked in right now, so they cannot switch. Just gonna be Rock Slide. Gothitelle avoids the attack, which I didn't care about the damage, but I do care about that chance to flinch. So, nice. Nice. As Tyranitar does flinch and we get Trick Room up. That is a huge, huge swing in momentum because now I can Helping Hand Drain Punch, knock out the T-Tar. I do want a Helping Hand Drain Punch in case it does have, like, a Chople Berry or, you know, maybe... Tyranitar may be bulky enough to live to Scrafty's attack. So I'm going to Drain Punch here. Even if Tyranitar protects, that's fine. Because Lycanroc still can't do much damage, even with the Rock Slides. Although I could just Psyshock the Lycanroc, that's true. I don't feel like it's too helpful here. So I'd rather Helping Hand Drain Punch the Tyranitar and get rid of it if possible. And then we'll see what my opponent potentially has. Of course, Azumarill is still scary of an endgame that I'm considering, so I do have to be wary of the Azumarill. Also have to be wary about the Salamence that could come in the future turn if I do knock out Tyranitar this turn with the Drain Punch. So there are a lot of things. So let us see here. Helping Hand into Scrafty. Are there any protects? Nope, so Drain Punch going to come out. No Chople Berry, it looks like, so I am able to pick up the knockout Tyranitar and gain back some health, which is really nice. I'm pretty sure that's banded Lycanroc by how much damage it's done. I was just about to say, did Scrafty not heal up to full? It looks like it stopped at like 167 for a second there. Rock Slide is going to come out into my Gothitelle and my Scrafty. That's a good amount to my Gothitelle. Could be banded potentially. But then again, this Gothitelle doesn't have much investment. So let's see what's coming out here. Azumarill could definitely be coming out here. Salamence could be coming out here. They're both potential good Pokemon here. It is going to be the Azumarill as I expected though. So Azumarill is going to come out. I do want to weaken this for my Amoonguss in the back. So I'm just going to Psyshock the Amoonguss here. I mean the Azumarill here. And a very safe switch in to my Amoonguss. I really wanted this to Sap Sipper, but I feel like it would be huge power here. Psyshock's going to come out into Azumarill, weaken it in case it's like a Belly Drum set or AV set. Does like 25%. Play Rough going to come out into the Amoonguss. That's Choice Band or huge power. That's definitely one of the two. Rock Slide's going to come out once again. Not really do too much. So I'm going to be able to get a Helping Hand Gig Drain off, it looks like. And I get my berry back thanks to Sand. Perfect. I feel like that's banded. Yet at the same time, my Amoonguss isn't max defense. I feel like I'm messing up my calcs now. But I'm just going to Helping Hand Giga Drain. I could also Sunny Day here to set up for a Camerupt, but I could do that later in the game. So I'd rather try to get rid of Azumarill now. I'm pretty sure it has to be huge power at least though. It's definitely huge power because I don't think banded Sap Sipper would be able to do that much damage. So Helping Hand here with the Amoonguss, as we are going to be able to get a Gig Drain. This should be able to pick out the knockout on Azumarill. No, it looks like it might be AV here. Okay. Knockoff actually going to come out, so it's definitely AV here. Going to target down the Amoonguss for the what's the berry called? Papaya. It's the Psychic type berry, but that's AV Amoonguss. I mean AV Azumarill, so that's good because I'm able to pick up the knockout onto that Azumarill this turn with the Psyshock afterward. So I'm still worried about potentially Salamence in the endgame. Like Salamence in the endgame is going to be very scary to deal with, as I will be able to get Scrafty in for another round of Intimidate. Yes, since it's probably banded Lycanroc, that makes sense to assume. I'll just go for a Psyshock here into Azumarill and a Drain Punch into Lycanroc. Lycanroc's frail, so it might go down, and Fake Out doesn't really gain me too much. So, of course, I am putting myself in the losing position against Salamence if it's in the back. Aqua Jet's going to come out, which is completely fine into my Gothitelle. Doesn't get a crit, thankfully. Psyshock going to be able to come out, pick up the knockout onto Azumarill. So Azumarill does go down. Drain Punch will come out. Maybe I should have just went for a last turn just Spore, which would have also been a fine play. Drain Punch does knock out the Lycanroc though, which is really good here. As Scrafty will be able to survive any future turns. Let's see what my opponent's last Pokemon is. It really comes down to what my opponent's last Pokemon is. Are you the Mega Salamence or are you something else? It's gonna be Marowak instead. Okay. So that actually makes it so much easier. I don't have to worry about Mega Salamence. And now what I can do is just Trick Room up and knock off, because either way I either get rid of this Marowak's item or I get a Trick Room up for my Mega Camerupt potentially. The match is just gonna be forfeited and we will be able to take the win there. So gonna be able to get 3 wins in today's episode of VGC 17 back-to-back battles. I hope everyone enjoyed today's episode of VGC, not VGC 17, VGC 2018. I'm still not used to it. I am sorry, boys and girls. I am not used to it yet. But thank you all for tuning in. If you did like this video, please leave a like down below to show your support for Mega Camerupt. And you can check out the previous episodes. If you have missed any of VGC 2018 back-to-back battles, you can go check out the Empoleon team that was featured last week. And let me just say, it's only been a week since Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon with my VGC content being released and debuted. And it has been some incredible support. I'm really thankful to you guys and girls out there who are just watching, enjoying the series, and I'm having fun as well. So we're all winners. So thank you all for watching, and have a good day, people. You can check out the rest of my stuff down below with my social medias, the pace spin of the team down below, and of course, have a good day, people. I will catch you around in another video.